The community of Herndon, Virginia was known for its tranquility. This peace was shattered in February 2023. On a seemingly ordinary day, a horrifying discovery was made. Christine Ann Banfield, 37, and Joseph Nathan Ryan, 39, were found dead. The location was the Banfield residence on Stablebrook Way. The news of the double murder sent shockwaves through the community. Residents were left grappling with fear and disbelief. The initial reports were unclear. It was a chaotic scene. The authorities were trying to piece together what had happened. The only thing certain was that a horrific crime had been committed. 2 lives were cut short. The investigation into the double murder was just beginning. It would be a long and twisted road to the truth. The police started their investigation. They had a lot of questions. Who would want to harm Christine and Joseph? What could have driven someone to commit such a heinous act? Was it a random act of violence? Or was there a deeper, more sinister motive behind it? Could it have been someone they knew? What secrets might the investigation uncover? The police were determined to find answers. They owed it to the victims and their families. As the investigation progressed, the details of the case became even more disturbing. The crime scene was particularly gruesome. It painted a picture of violence. The police were determined to catch the perpetrator. They would use all their resources to bring the killer to justice. What will the investigation reveal? How will the community heal from this tragedy? Brendan Banfield, Christine's husband, became a person of interest. He claimed he shot Joseph in self-defense. According to him, Joseph had stabbed Christine. However, the police were suspicious. There were inconsistencies in his story. Something didn't add up. The lack of forced entry into the home was a red flag. If Joseph was the aggressor, how did he get inside? Banfield's story was falling apart. The police suspected he was hiding something. The truth was far more sinister than they could have imagined. The investigation took a turn when Juliana Perez Magalhaes was arrested. Juliana was the Banfields' former live-in nanny. She was 24 years old. She was the first to call 911. Initially, she reported an injury to her friend. Then Banfield took over the call. Juliana's conflicting statements raised eyebrows. Her behavior was unusual. The police sensed she was hiding something. Her connection to the Banfields and her inconsistent story made her a prime suspect. The pieces of the puzzle were starting to come together. Juliana Magalhaes, the former nanny, became a central figure in the case. Her initial statements to the police were inconsistent. She changed her story multiple times. This raised red flags for the investigators. What was Juliana hiding? The police dug deeper into Juliana's background. They uncovered a shocking revelation. Juliana and Brendan Banfield were having an affair. This information changed everything. It provided a possible motive for the murders. Was this a crime of passion? Juliana's involvement in the murders went beyond the affair. Evidence placed her at the crime scene. She had initially denied being present. Her lies were unraveling. The police believed she was an active participant in the murders. Juliana's conflicting stories and her romantic involvement with Brendan Banfield painted a picture of a complex and sinister plot. The police were determined to uncover the truth. They would not rest until justice was served. The investigation revealed a shocking truth. Brendan Banfield and Juliana Magalhaes were having a secret love affair. This affair was the catalyst for the murders. It was a tale of betrayal, lust, and ultimately murder. Brendan Banfield wanted to be with Juliana. He saw Christine as an obstacle. Their affair was passionate and tumultuous. It was a recipe for disaster. The police believed that Brendan, blinded by love and desire, decided to eliminate his wife. Juliana, entangled in the affair, was caught in the web of Brendan's deceit. The police were unsure of her role. Was she a willing participant in the plot, or was she a pawn in Brendan's twisted game? The love triangle between Brendan, Christine, and Juliana set the stage for a tragic ending. It was a story of love gone wrong, fueled by obsession and deceit. The truth, as they say, is often stranger than fiction. The fetish website. The investigation took an unexpected turn. A fetish website became a key piece of the puzzle. The police discovered that Joseph Ryan, one of the victims, was a member of the site. The police investigated further. They found messages between Joseph and someone claiming to be Christine. However, the writing style was different. The police suspected that someone was impersonating Christine. The messages were suggestive. They lured Joseph to the Banfield residence on the day of the murders. The police believed this was a premeditated setup. The website and the messages were crucial pieces of evidence. The discovery of the fetish website and the messages added another layer of complexity to the case. It painted a picture of a carefully planned and executed murder plot. The police were one step closer to the truth. Unmasking the truth. Brendan Banfield's story unraveled as the police investigated. His claim of self-defense was weak. The evidence told a different story. The police believed he was the mastermind behind the murders. The police uncovered evidence of Brendan's plan. He had purchased a second gun. This gun was used in the murders. It was a cold and calculated act. He had manipulated everyone around him. Juliana, under interrogation, cracked. She confessed to her role in the murders. She admitted to shooting Joseph. She claimed Brendan had manipulated her. She was a pawn in his game. The truth was finally revealed. Brendan Banfield, driven by his desire to be with Juliana, had planned and executed the murders of his wife and Joseph Ryan. Juliana, blinded by love and manipulated by Brendan, played a crucial role in the tragedy. Seeking justice. The Herndon community was in shock. The truth about the double murder was more horrific than anyone could have imagined. Christine Banfield and Joseph Ryan were victims of a cold-blooded plan. Brendan Banfield was charged with aggravated murder. He faced a mountain of evidence against him. The prosecution was seeking the death penalty. The trial was highly anticipated. Juliana Magalhaes, initially charged with second-degree murder, faced a lesser charge after agreeing to testify against Brendan. She was portrayed as a victim of manipulation. Her testimony was crucial. The trial was a media spectacle. The community wanted justice for Christine and Joseph. The prosecution presented a strong case. The defense tried to paint Brendan as a victim of circumstance. The jury had a difficult decision to make. The investigation continues. The Herndon Double Murder case, despite the arrests, remained an open investigation. The police believed there was more to uncover. They were determined to leave no stone unturned. The police were looking into the possibility of other individuals involved in the plot. They were investigating Brendan's financial records. They suspected he may have hired someone to help with the murders. The investigation extended beyond Herndon. The police were working with other agencies. They were following leads that took them across state lines. The case was far from over. The Herndon Police Department was committed to finding all the answers. The community deserved justice. The victims deserved to rest in peace. The investigation would continue until all those responsible were held accountable. A community seeks answers. The Herndon Double Murder case had a profound impact on the community. It shattered their sense of security. It made them question everything they thought they knew. The community grappled with many unanswered questions. How could something so horrific happen in their town? Was there something they could have done to prevent it? Was anyone truly safe? The case sparked a conversation about domestic violence, manipulation, and the dark side of human nature. It forced people to confront uncomfortable truths. It left an indelible mark on their lives. The Herndon Double Murders served as a stark reminder that evil can lurk even in the most idyllic of places. It was a tragedy that left a community wounded but also determined to find healing and understanding. The search for answers continues.